Hey guys, welcome back to Missing Out Mondays, where we tell you what we're into. Start your week off right. I'm Tari J.
I am Lex Michael.
And today we're joined by good friend of the show, Malik McCrea. Yeah. Malik. Hey, wee. Oh, yeah.
I need that everywhere I go.
Malik is going to be on our main show tomorrow, but he's here to tell you what he's into today.
The Maxx.
The Maxx? Okay.
Has anybody heard of this?
I'm not sure.
As in like, and I'm a PC?
No. It's called The Maxx, MAXX.
Is it about a guy in a purple suit and a
Yes.
little girl?
Yes.
I watched that as a kid.
Yes. I just recently got back into I just was recently introduced to this show.
Yeah.
It's based on a graphic novel from I want to say it was acquired by DC. It used to be Variant, but then Variant went to DC.
Yeah.
And it's really good, and like the animation is like insane. It came on like during the MTV era, you know what I mean, with like Daria and all that kind of stuff. But it's so forgotten about, and it just got swept under the radar. There's 13 episodes. Every episode is like 11 minutes, and it's some of the darkest, grittiest storytelling that you're ever gonna see.
What's the premise generally?
Okay, so the Maxx is basically about this guy called the Maxx, who is a superhero in one world, and in another world he is the king of this African safari landscape called the Outback.
All right.
It sounds crazy, but like just the storyline is so twisted, and like the best thing to take from it is just like the animation. You can see there's a lot of Tim Burton influence. There's a lot of and they do a lot with just like mixed media, found footage, all that kind of stuff, and it's just really good. The storyline's a little dark for some viewers, but I feel like there's some people out there that can handle it. But yeah, the Maxx, man, it's really good. And I'm sure you can. It's one of those things where you got to dig for it to find it, but I found it, so it's out there.
Yeah,
it's out there.
Yeah, everyone talks about Aeon Flux, which would be airing at about the same time. So it was like Ren and Stimpy, Aeon Flux, then the Maxx.
Yep.
But it's really good. Like I always remember the last scene where stuff happens. I don't know how far you are, so I don't
I'm
wanna spoil
only
it.
6 episodes in.
Yeah. So like the last scene is almost like more touching than the show deserves.
It's really well written, man.
Yeah.
It's super well written, and like I said, it's it deals a lot with like the belief that one has for themselves. You know what I mean? Because in reality, this dude is homeless, but then he goes into this other world where he is the hero, and the woman that he saves is his queen, and things like that. So it's just like, and these are two very real worlds that he can flip back and forth in between. And it's like, but like society only sees him as this homeless person. So it's like, it's really interesting. Check it out. The Maxx, 2 X's.
Nice. What about you, Lex? What are you into?
All right, so I've been doing yoga at home.
Nice.
All right, so I got to a place where I felt like I was not being health and fitness conscious enough to where it's like, you look in the mirror sometimes and it's just one day and it's not like, oh my God, what happened to my body? But it's like, all right, I see what is happening in slow motion, and I see what will happen if I don't put a stop to this right now. Gotham needs me and shit. So I was trying to figure out like, what can I do that I can build a practice and a habit for that doesn't feel like I am like having to set aside time just to exercise? Like, what's something I can do that sort of help me feel better all around? So my girlfriend was super into yoga for a long time, and I'd done yoga like years ago. Like when I was living in Massachusetts, I went to like a hot yoga studio. It was awesome, like so good. But I had not done it in many years, so I was looking for a way to be a little bit more fit. She was doing it at home, so I said, you know what, I'll start doing it with you. So now every day, like literally every day, we go turn on the TV, we go to YouTube, and there's a lady named Leslie Fightmaster who does a series.
What an awesome name,
right? Like who does this series of yoga videos. So we just go, and every single day we do one of those, and they go anywhere from like 20 minutes to an hour, different intensity levels, different focuses. Some are abs, some are cardio, some are all over, some are specifically for flexibility and balance. And I'm seeing now just in a few weeks I'm noticing a difference, not just in like I feel so much less like bloaty and puffy and whatnot, but also I feel like my bodily strength has increased, my flexibility has increased a crazy amount in a couple of weeks. Because I when I'm not specifically exercising, a lot of my time is spent sitting. Whether I'm reading or watching something, listening to something, whatever, a lot of it is spent sitting, and a lot of that time is spent sitting cross-legged. So my legs have had a lot of time to stiffen up, you know?
Yeah.
So after a couple of weeks, like, oh, I can like extend my legs in front of me, get to my toes and whatnot, and the whole body feels better. You know what I mean? Like, surprise, surprise. If you do whole body workouts, your body will feel better. But I've been really digging on Leslie Fightmaster's channel in particular.
You almost have to teach yoga or do something with that name. Like, you can't just be like a regular.
Right.
Can't work at Payless and
Nah.
be Leslie Fightmaster.
It's got to be something to do with, it's either yoga or martial arts.
Yeah, right. Or an MMA fighter.
Right.
Leslie Fightmaster.
But then what if you lose? It's going to be so embarrassing for you.
It'd be great. It's like the world's greatest underdog story.
Right.
They're like, you got to live up to the name.
To the Fightmaster name.
She's like, I just can't. I just want to do accounting. And
Do
they're
you
like,
want to
no.
be a Fightmaster?
But yeah, so I can recommend her channel specifically, but
Okay, so
yoga is a
yoga
practice
in general, or just yoga. I was thinking about taking a class at the Y. So
I would
how
honestly.
often do you do it?
We're doing it every day.
Every day.
Literally every day, yeah.
Interesting.
And the thing is, it goes by super quick because it'll be like 40 minutes. Like okay, 40 minutes of straight workout can seem daunting when you're looking at it, when you're staring at it in front of you. But to me, it goes by super, super fast.
That's how I feel about these podcasts, man.
Right? Like, it looks daunting. Like, fuck, these assholes for like 2 fucking hours? Shit. And then it's like you get to the other side and it's like, wow, I'm way more flexible.
Right?
Yeah.
But yes, flexibility, strength, balance, I feel like it's all just in a couple of weeks of developing it into a discipline.
Are you paying for these, or can people
they're
just go to
free on
YouTube and just...
It is free on YouTube. Now, I know, because YouTube is super hard to monetize on now, you can donate. Like, I think she's probably got a Patreon or something like that, and you can go kind of kick her a few bucks if you've got it and if you like the stuff. But it's free, and I'm sure that you can find videos that will teach you kind of early on if you don't have somebody observing you and correcting your posture.
Yeah.
Posture's super important so you don't hurt yourselves, but I'm sure you can find a video that kind of breaks down specific posture and where you should be putting what when. And then, yeah, you could do this
If
at
only
home.
we all knew where to put what when.
We
It's
wouldn't
true.
be in the predicament we are now. But yeah, I recommend that a bunch, and it's just everybody just go do that. go do that. Yes, send out, what is it? Hands to the forehead to remind us to have clear and loving thoughts. Hands to the heart to remind us to have clear and loving intentions. Hands to the mouth to remind us to have clear and loving communications. And then we send that positivity out into the world. Namaste, folks. Okay, check it out.
Yeah.
Changed man.
No, but like, it's dope, and like you'll get fit. That plus a decent, health conscious diet. It won't take too terribly long for you to notice results. I'll speak from my personal experience. Did not take me too terribly long.
Yeah. Nice. It's my turn. Guys, I have to tell you about Dragon Ball Super Brawly.
Oh, man.
This is going to be spoiler free.
Okay, so then my first question.
Yes.
What is that?
Yes.
Oh, that's right. You never see. Oh, my God.
Yep.
This is
So-
what we went through last time.
Yep.
Dragon Ball Super is the sequel series to both Dragon Ball and Dragon Ball Z, and it negates Dragon Ball GT. And so this is the 20th movie in the Dragon Ball series.
Negates like it just sort of
Ignores.
like it didn't
It
happen.
retcons.
It's like David Gordon Green's Halloween from last year.
Yeah.
Sort of like this is a sequel, but that last sequel doesn't exist anymore. We're
Right.
doing this. Okay.
Yeah. And so once we started Dragon Ball Super, the movie started being in canon. So previously in Dragon Ball and Dragon Ball Z, they were all non-canon and essentially just one-off stories that use our known characters, and it just like plays with a new villain that is similar to the last villain enough. But these are all in canon. And so Dragon Ball Super Brawly takes a character from the older non-canon movies, which is Brawly, who had his own storyline back then and was very vanilla, very boring, just looked really cool, and essentially retells his story in a different way. Since those weren't canon, there's nothing to like retcon. They were just one-off stories, and now this is part of the greater Dragon Ball canon. And so previously, the story of Broly was that he was born with immense power, was born next to the main character, Goku, and Goku was always crying, so it made
Broly angry.
Yeah, it made Broly angry, so anytime he'd hear the name Kakarot, it would send him into a wild fury, and it's literally the only word he says in the whole movie. He just says Kakarot in varying levels of whispers and screaming. So that is the old version. The new version, they managed to, and again, this is spoiler free, they managed to rewrite his story to make him sympathetic and intelligent. You understand why he is the way he is. They build on the established canon of how things worked on planet Vegeta, which is the planet that all the Saiyans come from, which is what Goku is.
They're the ones with the glowy hair, right?
Yes. Okay. And then
like, here's the thing. I know ever so slightly more about Dragon Ball than I articulate, but not much more.
I mean, it's fine. This isn't for you.
Oh, shit.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
I'll take my headphones
Yeah,
off.
get the fuck out of here. This is for the true weebs. All right, guys, we're getting down and dirt. No, I mean, I would say that like if you were to try to watch this, I think there would be a lot of questions you'd have at the end, because it does really take a lot of the aspects that we already know about, like what it means to be a Saiyan and what happened to that race and all the fights that have led up to this very moment. And it like really builds on those different aspects and gives you another perspective. Like there's a moment in the movie where one of the characters literally remembers a thing that happened in the in like their arc, and they use that to further the plot, which is really cool. But also, beyond the story, the visuals are phenomenal. They take the time to essentially redo the transformation sequences, which are in the show, because like they're trying to conserve time and animation. The like transformation sequences for like Super Saiyan to like Super Saiyan God and all that stuff, they're pretty instant. It's just like they're regular. Then the next frame they have a different color hair and aura. But this time they like take effort. They power up to it. Their auras change slowly and swirl around, and it's beautiful. It's phenomenal. Also, all the
is it like stuff we haven't seen before?
It's
because it's very hard to like continue to make that. You know what I mean? Like they stopped, like Dragon Ball Z stopped measuring power levels at one point. You know what I mean? So it's very hard to like.
I'd say it's a new take on something. It's a new take visually on things that have been established. So like when you see them go Super Saiyan, it looks different. When you see them go like and each of the different forms, the transformation sequence has its own flair about it.
Oh, that's great. I can't wait to see that.
Dude, you have see it in the theater. It's
where can I go? Where is it?
It's it's in Burbank, at the AMC 16. But like for everyone out there, check your local listings. See it in the theater. I highly recommend it. You feel every blow between the different people because you're surrounded by this giant sound system. And it's in 178 wide or like full screen. So like every inch of the screen is taken up by this beautiful animation. And like there are sequences where you just feel like they were like, here's an outline of what's going to happen in this sequence, and they gave it to a animation house and were like, go crazy.
That's great.
And it just fucking goes. Like it's the first half is story, and then it's 50 minutes of fighting.
Amazing.
Yeah, and there's humor. Oh, it's so good, guys.
I'm gonna see. I'm gonna look it up now. See if I can. Yeah.
I mean, you might be able to get a show in tonight.
do some yoga while you watch The Maxx, and then go.
And then go when you're feeling all like you got some good animated storytelling in your brain, so you're primed for that, and then you feel physically all good and flexible, so you can relax into that big deluxe reclining movie theater seat.
Oh yeah,
watch more sweet animation.
Yeah.
Oh, man. So, yeah, that's what we're into. Let us know what you're into by hitting us up on Twitter, Missing Outcast, MissingOutcast. You can also hit us up on the Missing Out hotline, which is 978-MISS-OUT. That number again is 978-MISS-OUT. Leave us a voice message. Let us know your name and what you're into, and we will include it on the show. But for now, I'd like to thank Malik for joining us.
Thank you guys for having me.
And I'd like to thank Lex for always being here. You're always in our heart.
You don't let me leave.
Yeah.
Like if you would undo these cuffs, I could get out of here.
But you're always in my heart. But you can find Malik on Instagram at Spike
Leak.
It's Spike Lee, but with a K. You can find Lex Michael. Where can they find you again?
On Twitter and Instagram at the Lex Michael.
Awesome. And you can find me at Tari J. That's TAURIJAY, guys. And also, Malik is going to be joining us tomorrow for the main show. We're going to be talking about entrepreneurship. We're going to be talking about freelance culture, all under the umbrella of talking about this new venture called the People's Collective. It's going to be really exciting. We're going to be hitting some real hot topics.
The big concepts.
Hell yeah.
The ideas. There'll be some sweet, tangy discourse.
Ooh, I love tangy discourse.
Discourse tastes a little bit like orange chicken.
It does. Ooh.
It's got that same kind of, like, when you touch it, it's got that same sort of viscous stickiness.
Yeah. I mean, I wouldn't describe it as viscous stickiness because that makes it sound gross.
Sure does.
But I got it. Yeah, no,
Yep.
it makes sense.
Yep.
All right, so tune in tomorrow, and we will see you then. Bye.
Bye.